March 8, 2014. The night air over Kuala Lumpur was calm. Inside the airport, 239 passengers boarded Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370. The manifest was unremarkable. University students heading back to school, parents returning home, and business travelers expecting a standard red-eye flight to Beijing. We live in an era of constant digital observation. Commercial airliners move through a world of GPS tracking, civilian radar, and overlapping satellite networks. The terror of MH370 begins here. A machine the size of a building slipped out of a perfectly observed world into an absolute void. For the first 40 minutes, everything was ordinary. The plane climbed to cruising altitude and communicated normally with air traffic control. At 1:19 a.m., the cockpit delivered a casual final message. "Good night, Malaysian 370. Then the transponder went dead. In an instant, the aircraft vanished from civilian radar screens. This radar track reveals the exact moment the mystery changed. The Boeing 777 didn't explode. Instead, it made a sharp, deliberate U-turn across the Malay Peninsula toward the Andaman Sea. Investigators now faced a silent, unexplained diversion into the blackness. Initial theories focused on a catastrophic mechanical failure, specifically a sudden rapid loss of cabin pressure early in the flight. At 35,000 feet, a depressurized cabin leads to hypoxia. Oxygen levels deplete in seconds, leaving the crew and passengers completely unconscious within minutes. In this scenario, the pilots are incapacitated, but the autopilot remains engaged. The computer continues to fly a dead aircraft perfectly level through the night. The plane drifts for hours until the fuel tanks run dry. Eventually, the engines fail, and the aircraft descends into the water. A mechanical failure resulting in a ghost flight is a terrifying tragedy. But it provides a logical answer that human minds can process and accept. This data challenges the accident theory. Long after disappearing, the aircraft sent faint electronic handshakes, proving it survived the blackout and flew for hours. The communications timeline is damning. Systems didn't fail simultaneously from an explosion. They were shut down sequentially, suggesting manual intervention. If someone turned them off, it points to two possibilities: a hijacking with no demands, or a pilot's carefully planned disappearance. The final projected flight path ends in the southern Indian Ocean. This water is miles deep, incredibly remote, and famously violent. The timeline of shutdowns and the precision of the routing suggests a flawlessly executed, deliberate vanishing. For investigators, the story shifted from a tragic accident to a calculated attempt to hide a plane in an unreachable place. The resulting maritime search was the largest in aviation history. Ships from multiple nations cooperated to map thousands of square miles of the ocean floor. Years later, physical proof finally surfaced. Battered fragments of the aircraft washed ashore on Reunion Island and the coast of Africa, confirming the flight ended in the ocean. While this debris proves the plane crashed, the main fuselage and the vital black boxes remain hidden. The sheer scale of the Indian Ocean mathematically overpowers human search capabilities. A massive commercial jet has become an invisible needle in a watery graveyard. Beyond the cold data of the investigation lies the suspended grief of the families. Without a definitive explanation, their loss has no resolution. MH370 shattered the modern illusion of total control. It proved that human intention can still outmaneuver global surveillance networks. Without the black boxes, no theory can be entirely proven or dismissed. The mystery remains trapped between the possibilities of a ghost flight and a deliberate crime. The ultimate horror of MH370 is that the truth physically exists. Somewhere, miles beneath the surface, the flight recorders are resting, holding the final answers in the absolute silence of the deep.